Hello!
Hello!
Welcome to another Tweedy Outdoors video. I'm here with Mr. WC21 UK Productions Limited.
Hello guys.
We're here at the Long Man of Wilmington. I don't know if you can see that behind me. The main talk about its history and some of the theories about where it comes from is going to be over on Mr. WC21's channel, and I'm just going to sort of goof off around the edges.
Sorry if this footage is a bit grainy.
I think your feet are pre-1870s, that's perfect.
That's about right.
That's exactly right, yes. Right, well I'll get some footage of Mr. WC21 walking through a gate.
I'm an expert at this.
Watch a professional at work. Textbook stuff. We may have overlooked this structure behind us. I don't feel like we've done the necessary due diligence.
Well, you just can't dew pond on it.
Hashtag too hot for tweed. I've no idea what I'm saying. Beautiful views here from this little platform, sort of viewing platform for the Long Man. Thought I might record my theory about what the Long Man of Wilmington actually represents. It seems too much of a coincidence to me that the two chalk hill figures that represent human forms in England are both located very close to abbeys and or priories. The Cerne Abbas giant, of course, has Cerne Abbey close to it, and here at the Wilmington Long Man we are very close to Wilmington Priory. Now, I'm of course not the first person to suggest a connection with the Priory, but it's worth noting the foundation of Wilmington Priory, often overlooked, I think is really quite intriguing. Wilmington Priory was founded in the mid-11th century by Holoin de Conteville, very Norman sounding name there. Now, he was William the Conqueror's stepfather. The optical luminescence sensitivity testing at the Cerne Abbas giant places it in basically that Norman period. So let's assume that the two hill figures are roughly contemporary with each other. I can't help but think the monks there were making a possibly political statement. William is the new king. It's intriguing that there is a missing panel from the end of the Bayeux tapestry. It's generally assumed to depict William's coronation. When you look at the Long Man of Wilmington, it is uncannily similar to modern images of our monarchs being crowned, with the orb and the sceptre looking similar to those two staves the Long Man of Wilmington is holding. Or could the Long Man of Wilmington actually be holding, symbolically, either side of the English Channel? And this is possibly stretching the point too far, but going back to the Bayeux tapestry, images of Bishop Odo, he of course being the half-brother of William the Conqueror, depict him wielding a club because the clergy at that time were not supposed to draw blood. And what is the Cerne Abbas giant holding? It's a club. After filming at the Long Man of Wilmington, Mr. WC21 and I went to the nearby Long Man Inn. It's an interesting pub. I think it has recently changed its name and was previously called the Giant's Rest. The interior is somewhat modern, but there's some nice matchboard panelling around the walls, and I do think they've done a really good job of really hammering home that Long Man theme. Even a Long Man of Wilmington themed cushion. The beer is also from the Long Man Brewery, which is nearby, and they serve it directly from the barrels from the little tap room behind the bar, which they very kindly let me have a look inside. Mr. WC21 and I have had a very pleasant evening having dinner at the Tiger Inn. I may have a tiny bit of... Did I get much B-roll?
I'm not too sure if he did, but I feel terrible because Tweedy has been of immense help to me on what I think is a video on my channel that's going to blow up, as we say. We've had a lovely meal at the Tiger Inn, and now Tweedy's trains are all cancelled.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like I can get back to London this evening.
And I've got to abandon him to wild camping somewhere on the cliffs above Birling Gap.
Unfortunately, I seem to have come out today a bit under-provisioned in terms of light attachments for my camera, so all I have is a head torch, which doesn't seem to do a great job of illuminating the surroundings vis-a-vis taking any kind of useful video. Terrible camera work. Do seem to be a lot of slugs out this evening. I'm hoping this path will lead me somewhere near to the sea. I can find a bit of coastal margin, a bit of cliff top. Oh, apparently Wentway is an ancient trackway leading from Birling Gap to Willingdon and beyond. Evening, ladies. That's not something I'm hugely excited about, negotiating in the dark. Is that going to be too dark for anything to come out? There is a nice effect over there of the moon shining on the water there. This is my incredibly half-assed setup for this evening. I doubt that much of this is visible, really, is it? It's very dark. I've just brought out the Molaris bivy bag again. I haven't even been bothered to blow up the Thermarest thus far. The ground doesn't feel particularly cold. It's going to be a very warm night. Got a very thin sleeping bag, quilt, the, what is it, Big Agnes, whatever it's called. This thing. Right now I don't even feel remotely cold. Really very warm evening. So yeah, this might be it for tonight. Just sit on this hill overlooking the sea over there. A little bit cloudy right now. I might try and do a tiny bit of night photography, but I'm not sure that's going to come to much, as always. My face still a bit red. It is, isn't it? I think I caught the sun today. Oh well. Morning. Probably look terrible. As always. First light, I think. There's a bit of a early glow of pre-dawn there. Hashtag leave no trace. I was on a sort of bit of a sheep track there, so the grass is already partly flattened. It's 5:37 now. I'm still not actually sure what time the official moment of sunrise is. Still can't get a signal on my phone. Over there, I think we have Beachy Head. I'm going to walk along the Seven Sisters, I think, towards Seaford. Lovely colours in the landscape here this morning. I don't know if the GoPro is doing those justice. And look, we've got a gate to open. Back on the South Downs Way. So I suppose that's Birling Gap down there. Mr. WC21 was telling me about how those cottages, perhaps you can just about see them, are gradually falling into the sea. Didn't sleep particularly well, as always. A couple of hours here and there, sort of in short bursts. Well, look at that. The Seven Sisters in this early morning light. That's nice. An unexpected bonus. Been noticing the time on my phone jump backwards and forwards, and I've just realised what it is. I'm right next to the English Channel, and I think I'm occasionally picking up those French networks. So possibly some of the earlier times when I said what the time was, it was an hour out. I think the actual real time is 5 AM now. Apparently I'm back in the UK. Looking back to Beachy Head again. This sunrise still doesn't quite seem to want to really get going. This is a familiar looking spot, I think. February last year, was it? I can pick out Cuckmere Haven over there now. I'm finding this surprisingly hard work. I'm reminded afresh every time I come to the Seven Sisters just how surprisingly grueling it is. You think, oh, that'll be a pleasant walk along the cliff tops, and I'm reminded, as I'm doing now, it's filled with 7, funnily enough, descents followed by 7 ascents, and they're all quite steep, these little the bottoms between the cliff tops. I don't know if it's visible on camera, but I'm also being doggedly followed by a little cloud of very persistent flies. It's a bit annoying. I thought this would be an idyllic morning stroll around sunrise, but I don't know if it is sunrise or not. I don't know what time it is. Surprisingly hot. I'm being bothered by flying insects. The sun's definitely up. Civilization appearing over there, over the brow of this cliff. Brow of a cliff, that sounds weird. Brow of this hill, which is also a cliff. And that's Cuckmere Haven down below. The tide looks pretty low to me, so I'm going to try fording the river today. Quite a challenging descent here, actually. I remember this from before. Lots of loose chalk, very steep. It's a chunky old cliff, isn't it? Quite hard going along the beach as well. The cobbles underfoot. Not an easy walking surface. Sun poking over the cliffs behind me. So this is the River Cuckmere. Depending on what the tide's doing, this can present quite an obstacle getting across Cuckmere Haven, and it's a long way round inland. It's a while since these guys have seen any action. The idea is they go completely over your boots, just about reach knee height. Hopefully that's deep enough to get across the river there. Okay, wish me luck. Okay so far, but this is the deep bit. Sorry about the wobbly camera work. I'm a little bit more concerned about my footing here. And if you can see, getting a little bit near the top, but I think I'm going to be okay. Terrible camera work. There you go. Tiny bit of tweed splashed there, but I can live with that. Looks like I've got to clamber through the groins here. I think when I... Terrible camera work. I think I can call that a successful crossing at Cuckmere Haven. Famous view of the cottages. Are they the lifeguard or coast guard or whatever you call it, cottages above Cuckmere Haven? Classic view of the Seven Sisters, shooting directly into the sun, so it's probably all in silhouette. I'm following the England coast path, England coastal path, is it? The rest of the way into Seaford, and fingers crossed I don't have a lot of ups and downs left to do now. Are all these shots just terrible, all in silhouette because I'm shooting directly into the sun? I don't know. It's such an evocative sight, isn't it? The Seven Sisters. Part of what I love about the South Downs is that as a hill range they don't just fizzle out. They come to this dramatic conclusion where they meet the sea. That's Seaford then. Looks huge, doesn't it? Seems to be quite a lot of hashtag van life going on here in Seaford. Right, well that's it then. I've made it to Seaford. 6 and a bit miles this morning. I feel surprisingly worn out, probably because didn't sleep much and it's surprisingly warm and all that. So funny sort of a video, probably said that a few times already. Hopefully something salvageable from that. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.